Hey guys, welcome back to another video over here on the Chinese Zodiac and horoscopes. Today we're going to be doing a reading for you guys born in the year of the monkey. So welcome back all my monkey friends. Hope you're doing okay. Let's find out how your week is going as we shuffle these up and pick 3 cards out for you guys. Let's just move them around, shuffle them about, see what we've got. Let's start about there, and we're going to take that one from the bottom, we're going to take this one from the middle, we're going to take this one from the top. What have we got? Okay, so we're going to start off in a positive place, but we're moving into 2 negatives here. As I've said before, black isn't always an attack and white isn't always all right. We are looking at the compatibility of the cards as we flip them over, because it is all a matter of perspective when it comes to what is negative and what is positive, and of course what you're actually going through right now. Nobody wants to take away your positive atmosphere or happy times, and nobody wants to deny you your negative doom and gloom times. It all depends on that perspective. So let's flip these over and see what we've got. The first card isn't necessarily a great card, I'm afraid. This is a card that it's not only the negative karmic card, which has its own merit in the fact that there is negative karma impacting your life right now, impacting this chapter. But the monkey and the snake aren't compatible. Not really. They don't get along too well. They don't trust each other. And I think right now you've got trust issues. And it's quite intense. It's quite intense. You can't necessarily compromise on it either. Maybe because things feel too familiar. Things feel too like deja vu. Like you've been here before, like something stirred up something in you, and now it's causing you to overthink on a almost sort of exhausting level, where you're actually thinking maybe a little bit too much on things that may not necessarily need that much thought put on them. But again, that snake is that thinking card, so you're not going to be able to avoid that. It's definitely thinking about things when it comes to trust or commitment or something to do with betrayal. Maybe you feel cheated, betrayed. You feel like something hasn't worked out the way you wanted it to. It hasn't all been sunshine, rainbows, lollipops and unicorns. Everything kind of gave this pantomime that you were happy to watch, and you clapped and you cheered and you sung the songs, you got involved with it, and then you had the standing ovation and everything was great. And then when you realized at the end there wasn't going to be an encore, and the theatre started to empty out, and you were then just in a dark, empty room, that pantomime wasn't that fun anymore. That illusion, that kind of dream, that kind of place that you thought you were going to be or thought you were, wasn't necessarily the way it was. It's almost like you've discovered that when you went back to the circus ground, the circus is packed up and gone. And it is just an empty field. The theatre's done. It's just an emptiness. There's just emptiness now. But, again, this could be by design. This could have been created not only through the negative karmic sort of energy that is there and paying a debt. That's justice. We can't escape that. But it could also be your own self-preservation. Your own self-preservation is holding you back. You held yourself back. You held yourself back, and now you have to suffer the consequences. But the consequences aren't necessarily dire. That's that rat card coming into play, a part of your own affinity triangle. That is a good card for a monkey person, negative or positive. It is a good card. You're in the same affinity triangle here. And as such, being in that same affinity triangle, there is a level of understanding of why you're in this place. So you do know why. Like I said, it could be by design. You could have put yourself here. You could have put yourself in this position like for self-preservation. You could have said, I'm not going to risk it. This isn't worth the risk. I'm not going to sacrifice. I'm not going to give up whatever it is. Like, you're not going to quit a job that you're comfortable in to go maybe get a job somewhere else. Because what happens if you fail the interview? It's not a guaranteed thing. So it wasn't worth the risk. It wasn't worth the sacrifice. You're not going to quit your job just because there's an interview for a job that you might like, or there's your dream job in the whole entire world, and you could have interviewed for it But why interview it and not get the job? Why do that? In a hypothetical situation where you had to quit one job before you interviewed for another, because I mean, in the real world, you just interview for the job, and if you got it, then you'd probably quit. But no, in this hypothetical world, in the monkey world, you have to quit that job before you move on to do an interview for a new job. But because there's no guarantee that that job's actually going to work out for you, it's almost like you're staying where you are. Better the devil you know. It's better the devil you know in this example, I think. But there are things that you can do. These problems that you're inventing, these problems that you've put there, there's nothing that I can advise you on that, because the solution is stop inventing problems. Simple as that. Stop putting things in place that prevent you from being in somewhere you would prefer. If you've created your own prison and you locked the door yourself, it is your own fault, and now you have to sit there. The old saying that goes, you made your bed, now sleep in it. Simple. Though, again, it's going to be one of those things that's not bad, because, again, compatibility-wise with the rat, you're not doing this because you don't want to do it. You're doing this because you do want to do it. It's just upsetting you that you have to do it. It just makes you angry, sad, emotionally attachments to whatever it is you're doing. It's hard to turn down that dream job and stick with the job that you've been doing for years and years and years just because it's a safer bet. But that's okay. You can choose the safer bet. You can. And I think maybe you might be feeling a little bit guilty, but you just don't trust that the outcome would have been what it was. You just don't. There's just an element of non-trust here. Black Ox coming into play. Another thinking card going hand in hand with that snake there. Not an overly compatible relationship either here between the ox and the monkey. Lots of reservations. Again, it's almost like, they're coming in together to basically team up against you, but you're the team leader. That's the weirdest thing. The weird thing is this is almost by design. You've thought about this. There's two thinking cards here. You've thought about this, but it's not necessarily the right process. The reason you're not going anywhere, the reason that you're stuck there, the reason that you're not necessarily happy is simply because you've chosen not to be, so that you can keep that sort of security of that job, or security of where you are, or security of what you're doing. Having that cash every month, that financial security where you're going to get paid, you're going to get money, that you're going to be in a position where you can pay the rent, you can buy food, you can put petrol in the car, you can do these things, go out for lovely meals or spend time with the family, or, whatever. That's guaranteed where you are right now. If you leave, that's it. It's a risk. Is that risk worth it? You have decided probably not. Otherwise there wouldn't be this conflict. Otherwise you wouldn't be putting yourself in this position. You're thinking about things a lot, and it's giving you reservations. And with your intricate thinking process, you're going to irritate yourself. You're going to agitate yourself. You're going to frustrate yourself to a point where it's easier to just give up rather than continue being frustrated at things that you cannot overcome or solve, because, again, you are the problem. It's you. But no, you're not the problem. You've created the problem. And that problem is for self-preservation. And all the other problems that you may not have control over is probably the negative karma for being in a position that you yourself has created, which has now created a ripple effect of negativity, because you put yourself in a negative place because the positive place isn't worth the risk for you and not worth the sacrifice. Will you be able to work through this? I mean, potentially, but it's going to take some time. What we've got here is a problem solver that isn't necessarily solving the problem. That's that black rat. The problem solver is the rat. It's not solving problems. And the two thinker cards that you've got, one is thinking about how you are right in doing what you're doing and that this is a good decision, and the other one is now overthinking why you need to stay in this for longer than you potentially should have done. But we'll find out how you get on with that, won't we, next week when we come back and do another reading for you guys born in the year of the monkey. My next reading will be for those born in the year of the rooster. So if you're interested in what those guys are up to, I will see you over there next. If not, no worries. I'll just see you next week. Thanks for watching. Love and peace.